Good evening, everyone. My name is Elijah Evans, the CEO here at Bikes Not Bombs. I'm thrilled to welcome every one of you here to celebrate this incredible milestone, 40 years of impact at Bikes Not Bombs. Now, to get us sensible in the room, we're going to do a couple of these, so bear with us. We'd like for you to raise your hand if you've been involved with the organization for the entire 40-year history. Raise your hand high. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Raise your hand if you've been involved for 30 or more years. It's 20 or more years. All right. 10 or more. More hands. And then 5 or more. All right, let's clap it up for us. There's a huge community here. Now, I know the election is front of mind, and we just want to say thank you for taking some time out of your busy lives to come and celebrate with us. As we gather here tonight, we want to stand in solidarity with all marginalized people and communities. We're reaffirming that Bikes Not Bombs has always been and will remain a safe space for all. As Coretta Scott King once said, the greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. So let's take care of one another. We will continue to hold space, encouraging all to lean in on community, being grateful that the bicycle, something so simple yet so powerful, has brought us all together. It is through the power of two wheels that Bikes Not Bombs has quite literally transformed lives and fostered sustainable development, connecting remote villages and neighborhoods to vital resources. Our mission of using the bicycle as a vehicle for social change remains just as relevant today as it was 40 years ago. For those of you who may not know, my journey with Bikes Not Bombs started more than 2 decades ago. I was just 14 when I joined the Earn a Bike program, and Bikes Not Bombs became very quickly a place that felt like home. It was more than just learning bike mechanics or earning a bike. Bikes Not Bombs is the place where I gained my confidence and developed lifelong skills that I still use today, even in making these remarks. That sense of belonging, thank you. That sense of belonging has stayed with me all these years, and I know that same feeling is felt by so many of you in our community and many of you here tonight. As we kick things off, I'm excited to introduce to all of you our MC for the night, Angela Finney. Angela has been our Director of Development since 2017 and works tirelessly day in and day out to ensure that we have the resources we need as an organization to carry out our mission. Welcome, Angela.
Very sweet. I have had the privilege of working at Bikes Not Bombs for a little over 7 years with Elijah and the great staff, and it is such an honor and a privilege. I have to tell you that I was not expecting to be up here this evening. Our MC for our 40th anniversary celebration was Sarah Lawrence. Yeah. She is an extremely distinguished alumni of Bikes Not Bombs' Earn a Bike program. She was here in the early 2000s, about the same time as Elijah. I'm not real clear on that. Sarah went on to join the staff of Bikes Not Bombs, and then went on to become president of the board of Bikes Not Bombs. She is undoubtedly one of the most inspiring and grounded and talented people I've ever had the pleasure to work with. Unfortunately, this afternoon, Sarah told us that she would not be able to come tonight, and I know she's very sorry. I think everything is okay, but she's not here. But what I'd like to do is just read a couple of the remarks that Sarah had prepared. She was going to say, it's an honor to be here. I have been involved with Bikes Not Bombs since the summer of 2002, so just about 20 years on and off. I've held various positions, with the most treasured being my time as an earner biker in my first couple of years of Bikes Not Bombs. Bikes Not Bombs has undoubtedly shaped my professional world and has given me the skills to be able to sustain an income, take care of my children, to be a forever learner, and think critically. Through Bikes Not Bombs, I've learned how to bring people together, whether to build a bike, to build a program, to build a strategy, and to do all of the above and more. So tonight, we're not only looking back at 4 decades of impact, we're also looking ahead to the future, which is going to be powered by this community right here tonight. Before we move forward in the program, I'd like to acknowledge the amazing people that are here tonight. I am going to ask you to raise your hand if you are a founder of Bikes Not Bombs. Well, Carl, as we all know, lives nearby in Roxbury. Michael came all the way from someplace around Washington, D.C. I can't quite keep up. But they're going to come up and give some very brief remarks, and we're very grateful for that.
I was told that I wasn't had to say anything tonight. I'll keep it short. We were born at the moment when Ronald Reagan was just coming to power, and so the parallels are quite clear. And his administration was one of the most corrupt administrations in U.S. history, and it was just amazing shenanigans that were going on, trading arms with Iran, collecting the money and funding a whole counter-revolution in Nicaragua, using foreign policy at a point when the world really needed a peace dividend, and with all the money that he poured into the military and putting Euro missiles all throughout Europe, and it was kind of a disaster waiting to happen. And luckily, things changed, and part of that is because Americans stood up, created something called the Bolin Amendment, and did many other activities to confront that. And I think we're at the same place now. At the national level, I know it's going to take some time to lick our wounds, and we're going to need to reassess how we reach out to a broad base of Americans who really want change but are not necessarily that informed about how government works and how it doesn't work. So I'm going to just say good night to everyone and enjoy yourselves. I want to also I'm looking out at how we've developed as individuals as well as collectively. And it's amazing to me. Elijah just said he was 14 when he came. And I think he was in the Earn a Bike that I taught for some time. But we've all grown a lot. And I think we can choose to make Boston one of the best cities in the world. I think we need to keep thinking local, because at the national level there's going to be some real problems. And we're here in Massachusetts, and we can take advantage of the situation here. So I want to get more involved at the local level and see us make the changes that are necessary to go ahead in this challenging times ahead. So thanks for 40 years, 40 more at least. Let's go forward.
Let's hear it for Carl Kurz and his leadership. I'm Michael Replogle, and I'm just so filled with joy to be here with you tonight at a time when we're all grieving what happened earlier this week. And I think that we are on the cusp of a moment of revolution in our country, not in the direction that any of us would like. But that is something that should embolden us to greater resistance. We worked together 40 years ago to organize Bikes Not Bombs as a national means for Americans to express their opposition to the war, the illegal war in Nicaragua. We need to come together as communities across our nation in the coming years to create many, many nodes of resistance to the rise of fascism in America. And we need to acknowledge the power that we're up against, and we also need to acknowledge and hold and build our own power. 66 million Americans voted against Donald Trump and for progressive values in America. We will rise again, and we'll continue to work and develop through platforms like Bikes Not Bombs and other new evolutionary organizations that we will develop to fight against the right-wing rise in America and to restore American democracy and its values and its institutions, and to hold up the light of what America promises and has promised for a long time and has never really delivered. But we can together work to make that future something that happens. So I, again, want to celebrate being here with you tonight, to celebrate 40 years of progress on sustainable transportation, on building equity and environment for our nation and in the world, and to building justice into our communities and into our relationships, and building it into our recycling of bicycles. We can rebuild capitalism into a more humane, sustainable global economy. We'll do that together.
Thanks so much, Michael and Carl. I also want to acknowledge that Jeff Ferris is with us. First home in the basement of his bike shop, and operated out of there for a long time. And we are really happy that you're joining with us tonight. I'm going to ask you all to do a little more hand wringing. All right? If you've ever worked at Bikes Not Bombs, lift up your hand. If you've served as a board member, please lift up your hand. If you have helped load a container full of bikes to ship, that's great. If you have completed a bike school program, if you have ridden in one of our 37 bike-a-thons, if you have shopped at the bike shop, if you have volunteered your time with Bikes Not Bombs, if you have made a donation to Bikes Not Bombs, all right, and if you have ever donated a bike. Like many of you, that's how I first found out about Bikes Not Bombs. I had to move a bike along. Well, a really big thank you to all of you. to supporters, to volunteers, we have a full table of youth apprentices here tonight. Supporting staff and donors and larger institutional funders. We are incredibly grateful for everything you do. Together we are building something incredibly special at Bikes Not Bombs. I just want to point out that at every seat is a 40th anniversary report. And I really hope you all take it home with you. We reached out to a true sample of people that have been involved in Bikes Not Bombs over the years, and they each provided a written contribution about their involvement and their impact and Bikes Not Bombs impact, and I just want to make sure that you take it with you. Let's see. I believe that on your program, someone should correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there may be a QR code. Oh yes, there it is. It is on the bottom right of your program. I'm going to ask you just to take a minute to locate it. If at any time tonight, during this evening, you want to take a quick scan and help fuel our mission, we want you to know that we welcome you to do that. That would be fantastic. And as you feel inspired by the stories you hear tonight and the accomplishments that we share this evening, remember that really, with a tap of your credit card, you can help us reach more people, more international partners, more youth, and every donation makes an incredible difference in helping us transform more lives. Let's see, this is something Sarah wrote. You might not realize it, but each of you are an incredibly essential part of the youth stories at Bikes Not Bombs, including Elijah and countless others that have been touched by this incredible organization. Because of you, we can celebrate the profound impact we have created together over 4 decades. And thank you for staying on this journey with us. To kick things off, I would like to introduce Bob Nesson. Bob is a professional filmmaker for many years, has made a couple of videos for Bikes Not Bombs. He is a longtime friend of mine and a volunteer at Bikes Not Bombs. Bob rides our annual Bike-a-thon. I told you before that this was our 37th year of running the Bike-a-thon, and I hope Bob does not mind that I tell you all that he received a special prize this year because he was the oldest rider. Let me tell you, he did not ride the shortest ride. Bob is going to share just a bit more about the incredible work happening at Bikes Not Bombs. And Bob, I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you. Every year on the Bike-a-thon, there's a prize for the youngest rider.
You didn't get that one?
And a couple of years ago, when I rode the 50-miler, I got a note from Angela saying, "Congratulations, you are our oldest rider, and here's a gift card for $25 gift certificate to J.B. Licks." That went in about 10 minutes. Well, Bikes Not Bombs has been around for this 40 years, and I too am looking forward to being around, maybe not for the next 40 years, but for a long, long time. This organization means an awful lot to me, and I love not just the organization, but the people in it, and the mission of Bikes Not Bombs. Tonight, we are going to show a video, a short piece, that summarizes some of the things, some of the mission of Bikes Not Bombs. We would love to do a full feature documentary about Bikes Not Bombs, which would be a prize winner for an Academy Award. But tonight we're going to do just a short couple of minutes, and I played a minor role in getting the video started and handed it off to Michaela Lidovich and Cheney Carlson Bullock. Are you here? Michaela? Stand up. They've done a fantastic job, and I hope that this video has as much meaning to you as to me, and we will continue and support the mission of Bikes Not Bombs into the future. Thank you so much.
Bikes Not Bombs uses the bicycle as a vehicle for social change and economic mobility for Black and other marginalized people in Boston and the global South. The 40th year is a celebration of Bikes Not Bombs' legacy and its community impact.
40 years now, we've been able to collect bicycles, repair them, and ship them, as well as work with youth all across the country. There's something about bicycles and solidarity and working together. It just incites people to become excited and want to participate.
Today, it has expanded to include youth development, educational workshops, policy advocacy, and environmental initiatives. Bike School is the foundation of Bikes Not Bombs. We offer youth mechanical training and entry into paid youth apprenticeships. Youth master introductory mechanics by teaching others and refurbishing bikes. BOCA, Bicyclists Organizing for Community Action, emphasizes social justice, environmental awareness, and organizing by providing workshops and mobile bike repair. Youth apprentices in the bike shop focus on mechanics and sales, and all of this is done while providing leadership opportunities and career building skills through mentorship and hands-on experience.
My experience is life-changing. There's been a lot of life lessons and a lot of things I've learned from here that I can take out into the real world.
We also want to empower the youth to see the bike as more than just a tool to be used for fun, but can be a very useful tool outside of leisure. Bikes Not Bombs intergenerational model strengthens community bonds by bringing together people of all ages to share skills, experiences, and build a sense of collective responsibility for a better future.
It's not just a bike shop, it's a bunch of people that are passionate about getting bikes and using the bike to change things.
With our bike donations, we're giving back. We're really focusing on recycling and repurposing bikes to be shipped out overseas. We're really providing them with the resources and tools that they need to get sustainable transportation for them.
I'm here at Bikes Not Bombs because there's 3 levels of things you gotta do to change the world in a good way. One is work inside your soul. The other is change policy. And in between and connecting them both is making a real empowering difference in people's everyday lives. And Bikes Not Bombs does that.
A bike can be a life-changing type of item for families and can save them hours and hours of time every day. And that's why I do the work here.
Bikes Not Bombs envisions a world where the bicycle is a vehicle used universally for personal and professional use. We definitely want to expand our bike school programming. We want to provide our youth apprentices with certifications in mechanics and other industries. And we want to continue developing partnerships with like-minded organizations.
To see where it's grown and how it's grown from those very humble beginnings of 1 or 2 bicycles, and then now close to 100,000 bicycles shipped overseas, and tens of thousands of bicycles recycled and reused in the Boston area and elsewhere. To see these bicycles that are basically resources, rather than ending up in the waste stream, they've ended up under people's legs, turning their way to work or their recreation and sport and health. Just to see that happening is impressive.
Exciting.
That was great. Thank you so much. I'm gonna take just a moment now to introduce our guest speaker that we have. Cecily Reardon is the Massachusetts Commissioner for the Department of Youth Services. Bikes Not Bombs has forged a partnership with DYS in the last couple of years. And I have to say that this is an effort that the Commissioner has really embraced, and we're just so happy that she's here tonight.
So thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. I have to say I am actually the one who's happy to be here. It is just such an honor to be with this amazing group of activists and folks who care about the future of the world, about the future of our young people, and especially now about the future of the young people nearest and dearest to my heart. For those of you who don't really know much about the Department of Youth Services, everybody always confuses us with the Department of Children and Families. We're different. We serve 5 main populations of young people, and some are familiar to folks and some may not be. We serve young people who are arrested outside of court operation hours, who are being detained overnight until they make their first appearance in court because they're either not allowed to go home or there's no one to come get them. We serve young people who are being detained by the juvenile courts while they're awaiting further action in their court cases. We also serve young people who are committed to our custody, where we are obliged by law to provide them treatment and care and support and help them achieve in all of the ways that they have previously not been able to for whatever reasons. We also serve young people, I guess probably the 2 benchmark or bookend populations I would want you to know most about are the ones we're in fact often most proud of these days. But one is we are now officially in the diversion business, where we partnered with our state Office of the Child Advocate to make sure that young people never come through our doors. And we have programs now. By January, we'll have locations in 10 counties across the state. And these programs are available to young people who judges divert, sometimes over the objection of the local prosecutor, where they're able to by law, and creating a new opportunity for young people to have services, individualized assessments, treatment plans, whatever it is they need, without over-serving them and pushing them deeper into the system. So that's one population we're extremely proud of. The other is on really the rear end, and so to speak, of our service continuum. And that is our voluntary services program. For every young person leaving our custody, we offer them voluntary services up to the age of 22. And that is anything from case management, which is what every young person will get if they decide they want to have voluntary services with us. They'll remain attached to the caseworker they met the very first day they came to us, so that relationship can continue to support and foster creativity, growth, all of those things. And they can have help with housing, with employment, employability services, education, behavioral health services, whatever it is they need. And if they say no to us out the gate, that's fine. They can come back anytime until they turn 22, and we will provide voluntary services. And the latest figure I heard, and I don't want to get it wrong, so don't quote me exactly on it, but our data guy told me the other day that we're up to about 78% of young people leaving us. So young people who come to us against their will, with no say in the matter, frankly, are now asking us to continue to remain involved in their lives and provide them support and services. So I like to think it means one of the areas that I feel like we're doing most right in is we have a very special focus on career and employability and career development services. We've been committed for the last 10 years to absolutely focusing, actually longer than that, maybe about more than 15 years, on education as a gateway to possibility. And we find that any young person who comes through our programs, if they're able to get an educational attainment, whether it's a high school diploma, whether they're able to start community college courses. We've had some young people earn associate's degrees with us from local community colleges, that they stand a much better chance in this world of not coming back into our system or into the adult systems, the adult carceral systems. So that's been a huge point of pride for us, but we realized that that's not the pathway for every young person. That many young people have incredible talents outside of the academic space. They are skilled in all different kinds of whether it's the arts, whether it's music, whether it's with their hands, whether it's all kinds of different skills that our young people have that oftentimes have gone unnoticed, frankly, until they come through our doors. And so we put about $2 million a few years ago into what we call our Skill Up initiative. And we've begun to partner. It's now doubled the number of small businesses we work with around the state who are providing mentorship, who are providing career development skills, who are creating pathways for our young people to explore careers. Not just so that we're checking a box and we say, we got a good job, yay for us. No, nothing like that. This is, okay, we got you a job, what'd you think? Okay, is it what you want? All right, no, let's continue to look. And having folks in dedicated positions to have those conversations and help young people explore what they want and what they need as very much active participants in the process, as well as with their families and their families' assistants. And part of that initiative is how we got to work with Bikes Not Bombs. And this was first for us in the spring of 2023 that we began this partnership. And I will say that I've been familiar with Bikes Not Bombs for a very long time. I moved to Jamaica Plain in 1998 as a baby public defender, working in, at that time, Brockton, and then I very quickly began working in Boston, representing young people charged with crimes in this neighborhood. My office was right around the corner. I was there for 14 years. And I referred many young people to Bikes Not Bombs, and I watched how it changed their lives, how it gave them skills and talents and purpose. And when I found out, because I wasn't involved in the contracting process, but when I found out that we were partnering with Bikes Not Bombs, and not only were we partnering with Bikes Not Bombs to refer young people, but we were going to have a full-service bike shop in one of our programs, I was over the moon, because I knew that this was an organization that cared. I mean, so many of the young people I see have been banned from every other program that wants to say they serve adolescents in the city. And, and maybe that's a badge of honor, I don't know. But Bikes Not Bombs never banned my kids. And they have not. And to date, they have had amazing success with our young people. We have, at this point, so the first cohort was in June of 2023. We had 4 young people in our Connolly building, which is out in Rosendale. And that's a hardware secure treatment unit. That's where young people who have very serious, very violent offenses are. Just full disclosure, that's who this organization is supporting and serving. And those young people took to this program like nothing else. I went to the first graduation, and I had to step out because just listening to them talk about what the experience meant to them, listening to them talk about how they weren't really sure about this Phil guy at first, but then they actually found that he was legit, and they really liked him and they felt he cared. They knew he cared, and that he wanted to help. And together, with the assistance of the various folks we've had from working in our programs, they've come to trust the instructors, they've come to trust each other, and these are young people often from rival factions, and to really rely on each other to learn and grow and to develop the skills that Bikes Not Bombs is so known for. And for me, it's just such a win-win, because one of the promises that I've always made as I've been in this role, so I've been with DYS now for about 10 years, I was its lawyer for about, 8, and then I've been in this role first as an acting and now as the official commissioner for a little over a year. And one of the commitments I made early on is that our young people are going to leave with something that no one can ever take away from them. They're going to leave with a skill, an achievement, an attainment, a sense of pride, a sense of value, of worth, a feeling of having been heard and mattering. And programs like Bikes Not Bombs give that to our young people. Our young people, when they graduate, they have skills. It may not be that they spend the rest of their lives fixing their bike, but darn it, they can fix their own bike if they need to. They can fix their kid's bike. They can transfer those skills to a number of different types of small machine repair. And then, and not just that, the soft skills. The patience of sitting there. I mean, I give up on my bike when my chain comes off. I'm sorry, it's like I bring it home, please help me. There's patience there, there's dedication, there's commitment to getting it right. Those are all skills that our young people receive when they go through the Bikes Not Bombs program. So At this point, and we expanded the program in May of 2024, we now have a Track 2 bike referred class, which for us is when we have young people who are in community-based programming, they may not be, there are young people who might otherwise be living at home, but they really don't have a place to go because their family would be kicked out of housing, or they don't really have family available. So they may go into what's called a Track 2 program for us, where they have a place to live and it's structured and supportive, but they have access to the community for school, for work, for all of the things that young people would do in their communities. And so we're now, so that was, we now have that bike referred class, so this allows young people who, you know, are in our community settings or being supervised at home to become involved in this program as well. And so I think to date we've had 5 bike school classes, which is really exciting. We have a 6th cohort currently in session, and a total of 19 young people have graduated, which is also very significant for us. And this is like bragging rights a little bit maybe, but apparently in 2024, our residential bike school program had the highest average score for the bike school assessment. So. When you tell like a group of young people who've never been told they did anything right or well, that they've gotten the highest score among their peers who are not in programs like them, I can't even tell you what that does for them. So really what I just want to say is thank you. We are so much better for our partnership with Bikes Not Bombs. We are so grateful to Phil, our senior bike school manager. Phil, where are you? Phil's in there somewhere, he was ready to speak. I know we've also done significant work with John Michael, who I guess was unable to be here today, and Benjamin John, and there's a woman named Kim who's out here somewhere who I keep running into various places, who's also been instrumental in our programming. You know, you have made us better. You make our efforts to make a future rich and alive and possible for all of our young people broader and brighter. And so I really just want to thank you and everyone in this room who's made this organization possible and made the work that you do to help young people who not many people really see as part of their community or see as part of who they want to work with. Feel valued, feel seen, feel heard. And if you could see, I wish we had as part of the film, maybe we could work on this someday. It's hard sometimes to film in our settings, there's all kinds of permissions and stuff, but if you could have seen the look on our young people's faces at that first graduation when they received their bike, and they took the bike outside in our yard to ride around, and the smiles would have absolutely lit this room up and the next block and the next block down. So know that any contribution you make to this agency, to this, you know, this cause is bigger than just this room, bigger than just this city, and is making a tremendous difference for our future. So thank you.
Cecily, thank you so much. We are so happy to hear from you and to hear about the impact that we're having with the youth we really want to serve. I mean, that's who we want to serve. And so it just, it means a lot to us. Next, we are really pleased to highlight a couple of youth testimonials from some of our current B&B program participants. These are youth apprentices who are employed and paid by Bikes Not Bombs. And these youth sat down last week to speak with our Director of Youth Pathways, Elise Oliver. And they are going to showcase just for a few minutes the impact this program has had on them. Thanks.
My experience of Bikes Not Bombs has been a roller coaster of new things I never thought I'd be doing. For example, I've traveled to Pennsylvania and Denver and learned more about the bike community. Ever since I started working at Bikes Not Bombs, I've grown over the past 2 years. I've learned how to network with people, which has been a struggle for me. But Bikes Not Bombs has helped me push through it. Also, Bikes Not Bombs has been a huge help of building my bike mechanic skills for the past 2 years. And Bikes Not Bombs has taught me how to fix and build a bike. But the thing I love most about Bikes Not Bombs is working with the community and learning how to fix and build a bike from the ground up. And with these skills, new skills, they have helped me expand my social connections within B&B and beyond.
I have learned many things at Bikes Not Bombs. Bikes Not Bombs is a fun job where you can make connections. I've seen a lot of coworkers who laugh a lot and still do good work. I learned so much about bikes. Different types, repairing, realizing what's wrong. I have been sharpened due to B&B. I've slowly been out of my comfort zone and having a better time talking to a group of people because of those experiences at Bikes Not Bombs. The experiences of talking and teaching made me more comfortable being uncomfortable in those situations, even if by a little bit. Being at B&B has also taught me more patience because when you teach someone about something that you're learning at the exact same time, it can be really stressful. But I have learned to wait more and have become more patient over time. My people talking skills were strengthened. Being with Boca at Chain Reactions, whether it's explaining or passing out t-shirts, I've grown a considerable amount in both knowledge and confidence due to being here.
Thank you so much. I am just going to ask you all to recall the QR code on your program because I'll tell you what, we try to do a lot. And for a long, long time, for 40 years, we have done a lot with not as much funding as we needed. And we truly need your support. So if you're able to make a donation tonight, we would really appreciate it. I want you to know that if Sarah Lawrence was here as the MC, she would have followed the program, which I have not done. And I'm going to just loop back for a little bit. Mayor Michelle Wu, who has been a huge ally in promoting safe cycling and cycling lessons for children in the city, was unable to be here tonight. However, she signed a citation to Bikes Not Bombs, and it's going to be presented by the Chief of Streets for the City of Boston, Joshua Franklin Hodges. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Angela and Elijah, for inviting the city to be here tonight. The mayor sends her regrets that she was not able to join in person. But I'm pleased to be here with you on her behalf to celebrate the success of Bikes Not Bombs over the last 40 years. And I think just to start, I mean, Bikes Not Bombs has been a fantastic partner for the city in numerous ways as we work to expand safe, reliable, affordable bike transportation throughout Boston. We know that investments in transportation can change lives, and Bikes Not Bombs has proven that. But we also know, and we've heard tonight, that bikes are not just a vehicle for transportation. Bikes Not Bombs has shown how bikes can be a means for creating community, for giving young people skills, access to economic opportunity, confidence, for building power to create change of all kinds in Boston and around the world. This organization has helped thousands of people find joy, to find freedom, to find opportunity on a bike. And Boston is a stronger city, and the world is a better place because of that work. At the City of Boston, we're doing our part to support biking. We are building streets that work for everyone to make biking a safer option for more people. To date, the Wu administration has built more than 15 miles of protected bike lanes in the city. Every block is a fight, but we're doing it. Today, our focus has been, both on miles, but really on closing gaps in the network, because that, is what we know opens up the possibility for more people to actually get on a bike and feel confident and safe doing it. And our data tells us this, right? When we make it safe, when we make those journeys safe, when we make those connections between the places where people live, work, go to school, the parks that they visit, that is what changes behavior. That's what gets people biking. And I get to experience my own version of this every morning. I take my kids to school. I live in Jamaica Plain. I take my kids to school on the back of my bike. And after I drop them off, I get to ride down Boylston Street in Jamaica Plain, which is one of the places that the city's built new low-stress bike infrastructure. And now, this year, every morning, coming up the street, are kids on their bikes, some of them very young, first, second grade. And so seeing how the infrastructure can open our streets for the next generation of people who will use bikes and experience the power that they can bring in their own lives, it just makes me feel really good about the work that we get to do every day. The city is also expanding access through the Blue Bike system. Work is underway to install 100 more stations to help make the system more reliable, to meet the rising demand. Last month in October, the system served its 4 millionth ride for the year. That's a new record for the year, and for a year we still have 2 more months to go. We've focused on treating Blue Bikes as public transportation, and that means reducing the costs. We have the Boston Bike Pass program, which allows any income-eligible resident of Boston to get an annual membership for only $5 a year to access the Blue Bike system, and discounted memberships for everyone who's a resident of Boston for their first year, regardless of income. The city has also launched a voucher program to make it easier for low-income residents, older adults, and people with a disability to purchase an e-bike. Bikes Not Bombs is one of our participating bike shops, and thank you for being part of that program. We're on our way to giving out 1,000 vouchers to people to get on those e-bikes. Anna Jacobs, who runs the program, is I think here tonight. I can't see where she is. And more than the numbers, though, is the stories, right? The people who are finding the ability to have that freedom once again. Maybe they gave up biking when they hit a certain age, or experienced a change in their health, and now have that opportunity once again to use this form of transportation and all the benefits that it can bring to them. So I will wrap up just by, before I present the official citation, by saying thank you again to Bikes Not Bombs for your leadership in advocacy in the community. Thank you for uplifting the young people in Boston in so many different ways. And thank you for your continued partnership as we work to expand access to equitable transportation here in Boston. So with that, I'm going to read it. It's not very long, but I'll read the citation and present it. So this is a significant certificate of recognition presented to Bikes Not Bombs in honor of Bikes Not Bombs' 40th anniversary. We acknowledge and celebrate this transformative organization that is empowering youth and paving the way for sustainable transportation solutions and is poised to uplift marginalized communities in Boston. On behalf of the City of Boston, congratulations on this momentous milestone and best wishes for continued success in the years to come. Mayor Michelle Wu.
Next, it's my real honor to introduce the recipient of our annual Distinguished Alumni Award. And it goes to Damari, who I think he was at Bikes Not Bombs for 4 or 5 years. He was there a long time. And I remember we had a stack party in my backyard, and I have all-season ping pong table. And he beat everyone. I mean, he just refused to leave. It was great. We are really happy to have had some time with Damari. And he is a very proud alumni who really embodies the impact of our mission. Please join me in welcoming Damari so that he can share his inspiring story. Thank you, Damari. On behalf of the entire Bikes Not Bombs community, we are honoring you with this award for your achievements at Bikes Not Bombs and beyond.
I thought I could be cool and stand that up, but it's not working. My name is Damari Guillaume, if you guys did not get it. But good evening, everybody. I didn't know I was going to get a response. I like that a lot, guys. I want to start tonight with a quote that always resonated with me. Success isn't just about what you accomplish, but the impact you have on others. Standing here today honored by an organization like Bikes Not Bombs. A group that's been instrumental to my journey. I'm filled with gratitude. The impact that BNB has had on me is something I'm eager to share with all of you. For me, my journey started with my wonderful mom, Dara Frederick. She raised me and my sister as a single mom. She went back to college in her 30s and even started her own business called 3D's Catering. Watching her tackle every challenge inspired me to think big and push forward no matter what. When I decided to start Rejunkify Junk Removal, the lesson that became my foundation was that no goal is out of reach if you're willing to work for it. My connection with Bikes Not Bombs began when I joined as an apprentice and spent 3 years learning invaluable lessons and skills. Bikes Not Bombs doesn't just give out bikes, they create opportunities and foster growth. They take your passion and help you turn it into purpose. After my years as an apprentice, and now a business owner, I've had the incredible opportunity to work with them as a client. In fact, Bikes Not Bombs was Rejunkify's very first contracted work, a full circle moment that Rejunkify Junk Removal then came to life, a business built on purpose, much like BNB. At Rejunkify Junk Removal, our progress starts with understanding our customers' unique needs. After our initial introduction, we like to get a scope of the work by either looking at the job through video, pictures, but more likely it's doing a site visit. For us, that helps us provide a fair and accurate estimate that ensures we deliver the highest quality service and responsible prices. We strive to find, if the initial cost does not fit within the customer's budget, we strive to find alternate solutions to achieve the desired results. Once the estimate is approved, we schedule the job and set the work to get done. Transferring spaces that were once cluttered and lost. Our goal is to make each experience memorable and enjoyable, leaving our customers feeling refreshed, leaving our customers with a refreshed space and a smile. At Rejunkify Junk Removal, we offer comprehensive residential, commercial, and nonprofit junk removal services, from estate cleanouts to hazardous waste, and everything in between. We're here to handle all of your junk removal needs. We're committed to clearing clutter and offering a service that positively impacts our communities and environment. Our commitment to responsible junk disposal is at the heart of our process. Once we pick up the items, we prioritize things into 3 different categories: donating, recycling, and lastly, selling. Our first goal is to always donate items that could be turned into someone else's treasure. And if the items aren't usable, we move to recycling them to protect our environment. Selling is our final option, but used sparingly, as our focus is on serving the community rather than profiting from discarded goods. This approach reflects our dedication to giving back to the community and making a positive impact. My background in playing ice hockey for 12 years taught me precision and discipline, qualities that now defines how I tackle each job and each project with Rejunctify. I'm not just another junk removal service. I'm here to bring a fresh, energetic approach to the industry and give back to the communities that help raise me. BNB has allowed me to see how an idea could have a ripple effect on so many others. Through their programs, I've met so many people that inspired me to expand Rejunctify's mission to be more than a service, but a catalyst for cleaner and more sustainable spaces. Rejunctify isn't just a junk removal service. It's about recycling, donating, and providing someone's old things as treasures to others. I want to extend a huge thank you to DMB for their unwavering support. They've taught me that a bike, like a business, can be more than just a tool. It can be a vehicle for change, connection, and empowerment. To everyone here tonight, thank you for being a part of the journey with me. Let's continue to create change, one bike, one cleaned up space, one connection at a time. Thank you.
That was great. I hope that I don't embarrass Mark by telling you what he does for Bikes Not Bombs. We take in about 5,000 donated bikes every year. Every day people come to our shop with donations. People in the community run bike drives. Boy Scouts have projects. We just get lots of bikes. And a lot of them are very high quality, and most of them get shipped overseas. We refurbish some and sell them at a low price point in our bike shop, and use them, of course, in our youth programs. But sometimes people give us bikes that are, let's say, unsafe, cannot be fixed, or of extremely poor quality, and we don't want to give it to anyone. And so Damari thankfully collects those bikes and takes them directly to metal recycling, where they are, I don't know what they do, they recycle the metal. They do something, they burn it down. Thank you Damari for inspired by Damari's work with Bikes Not Bombs and his journey with us. This is yet one more opportunity for you to help someone just like Damari realize their own future and story through Bikes Not Bombs as a youth apprentice. So I'm just going to remind you again that there is a QR code right in front of you. And we hope you will use it this evening. With your support this evening, we really are building our future and the stories of the youth we will be working with in years to come. So thank you all so much for your support and for putting up with me. And now it is, I'm really thrilled to welcome back to the stage Bikes Not Bombs CEO for the past 8 years, Elijah Evans.
Let's hear it one more time for Angela. No shortage of surprises at Bikes Not Bombs. Thank you all again for being here to celebrate this milestone with us. This is huge. Not many organizations make it to 40 years, and we're just really proud of the work that we do. Tonight, we're not just looking back at 4 decades of impact, we're riding forward, fueled by the power of community and the promise of even greater change. Since 1984, Bikes Not Bombs has been a beacon of positive change, delivering over 84,000 bicycles to countries all throughout the global south. Let's hear it for that. Those bikes have transformed lives, providing access to healthcare, education, and economic opportunity where they're needed most. But our mission doesn't stop there. While bikes are essential, our work centers people, the people who ride bikes, and the ripple effect that our collective efforts have to improve their lives. Here in Boston, thanks to your support, we've empowered over 4,500 young people right here in Boston, like Damari, like myself, like so many of the youth here in our room here who work for our organization. And we're so grateful for that. All these young people are coming out of Bikes Not Bombs, gaining hands-on skills, leadership, confidence, and probably most importantly, the belief that we all can drive change. Damari's journey from an eager apprentice to an entrepreneur embodies the transformative power of our work. It all began when we became his first client. We jumped at the opportunity to work with him. A few months ago, actually, when Damari was doing the pickup, he joked to me about how some people still confuse him for me, which is something that happened actually the entire time he was an apprentice. And I expected him to be a little annoyed, and so I kind of laughed it off to lighten the mood. But he went on to say the kindest thing that you could say to an educator. I don't know if you remember this, but he said, "It doesn't bother me because I want to be like you when I grow up, so I don't mind." His honesty left me inspired and speechless, and in truth, I find myself wanting to be more like Damari. He's had the courage to bet on himself and build a business that thrives without compromising his values. That's the dream. Our story is but one example of how our collective efforts extends beyond bikes, creating lasting impacts in the lives of those who we serve here and abroad. Looking ahead, we're reigniting our global partnerships, including developing a new partnership in Vieques, a sister island to Puerto Rico. This effort is part of our commitment to providing essential transportation to folks in need, and especially to those who live off the grid. Here's a quick video about the history of Vieques and its unique relationship with the United States government. We're just gonna watch about a minute of it and encourage you to check it out on your own.
I'm in one of the most beautiful places in the Caribbean. This is the island of Vieques, which is in Puerto Rico. But what you can't see are the thousands of active explosives left behind here by the US Navy. That's because for decades, the Navy trained for war by bombing this island. And the way they're going about cleaning up their toxic mess is actually hurting the locals and the environment.
Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, which means residents here are American citizens. But as a small island off the main island, Vieques has suffered years of neglect. And now, with no main hospital after Hurricane Maria and little economic opportunity, many are leaving. At the same time, wealthy Americans from the mainland are buying up prime real estate.
This house is listed for $4.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's worth every penny.
Even though parts of the island are still off limits.
Yeah, I don't want to go over there and get blown up.
Nobody wants to go over there and get blown up, that's for sure.
I think that's all we can tell. But it has a unique history. We're hoping to return to the island. Some of our team were here this summer. Raise your hand if you were in Vieques. Working globally and training youth locally, there's an opportunity for our youth to serve as experts, and we definitely want to jump at that opportunity. And so since we've been visiting Vieques, we've gone 3 times this year. We've fixed over 100 bicycles for the youth in the community there. And including this project in 2025, we have so much in store. So just to give you a sneak peek, next year we'll be launching a new field worker fellowship program in partnership with Learn, Work, Develop, our partner in Rwanda. And so what that means is a group of our youth and folks from their team will be doing some travel exchange. And we'll be able to replicate what we're doing in Vieques with our youth as trainers in the same way that our youth will serve as trainers in Rwanda. And hopefully we can, spend some time engaging with them when they're here and learn some stuff too, right? Cultural exchange can go both ways. Knowledge can go both ways. So we're excited about that. Next year, we're also going to be partnering with Mattapan Food and Fitness Coalition. Give them a shout out. Together, we're partnering to bring the National Youth Bike Summit to Boston on May 30th. So please take the break. And we're also launching a rebrand to reflect our future direction. This new identity will drive us forward into the next 40 years, so stay tuned. And finally, I'm thrilled to announce that as part of our Gearing Up for Growth campaign, we have, with your support, already raised a whopping $5.5 million to support our work. Growing our capacity, let's hear it for that. That's a lot of money. As we enter the public phase of our campaign, our goal is to raise an additional $2.5 million to continue to meet both the demand of our programs, as well as to build out a new state-of-the-art space in Jamaica Plain, our hub for growth, innovation, and impact. Let's take a quick look at this concept of our renovation.
New fence.
Our designer plays around a little bit. Some of you know us when the shop was in a different location. We were doing youth programs in a different location. And a few years ago, we reunited everything in the brewery, and now we're building a plan to build off of that. This renovated facility will not only serve as a hub for local youth, but also a catalyst for global change. We don't believe we have to pick between local and global development work. We can do both. And with your support, we have been able to do that. We're committed to expanding youth engagement, community organizing, and leadership opportunities, ensuring that our programs reach even more people. In addition, this new space will enhance our capacity to take on new global partners, fostering collaboration that drives meaningful change. Now that you've listened to our story, you've seen some of our vision and heard directly from some of the people involved, I am honored to invite you to invest in the ongoing success of Bikes Not Bombs. At this moment, what we need most is a multi-year commitment from our supporters to run our programs and complete the renovation of our space. By pledging at least $1,000 or more per year for the next 5 years, you can join our Wheels in Motion team, a group of donors and investors dedicated to the long-term sustainability of our work. This 5-year commitment allows us to focus less on fundraising and more on delivering the impactful services that you've heard all about tonight. It truly creates a direct and meaningful connection between your support and the work that we do every day. If a commitment of $1,000 is or more isn't feasible, we're an inclusive community. We definitely know that we have supporters at all levels, and so we encourage you to perhaps consider a gift of $400. That would go a long way to commemorate our mission and still support our everyday needs. Keep in mind that every contribution that you make, whether it's $100 or even $40, supports our mission and marks this milestone. I just want to take a second to say thank you to everyone that has already given. We rely on small dollar donors so much, and there are some folks here that give already on a monthly or somewhat regular basis, and so I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you. And for those of you who haven't given yet, as Angela has reminded us, queue up those QR codes, and just know that we really rely on your support, and we use it to the fullest extent. Every dollar really supports our mission. We're going to take a sec to listen to John Claude, one of our partners. He leads the organization Learn, Work, Develop in Rwanda, and as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a fellowship exchange, and so he's going to be a big part of that. So let's take a sec.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, I am Jean-Claude Mwiseneza, Executive Director at Learn, Develop, LWD in Rwanda. It is an honor to reflect on the impactful partnership between Learn, Develop, LWD and Bikes Not Bombs, which began in May 2018. Bikes Not Bombs' unwavering support has been transformative, particularly for the young women and youth that we serve in Rwanda. From the early days when LWD had no funding, Bikes Not Bombs embraced our mission and empowered our community. Through initiatives like the Message Mbahafi, which means in English, Please Auntie Be Close to Me program, we've reduced teenage pregnancies by 50% and improved sexual reproductive health knowledge, raising our operation area in family planning from the 10th at the first rank. Over 5,000 young girls have been trained at our TVET center in trades like tailoring, hairdressing, bicycle mechanics, and even in farming. Our efforts have led to economic empowerment, with girls becoming thriving entrepreneurs and active community members. We've also established 2 bicycle shops and a cycling club of such girls through our Sports for Change approach. Bikes Not Bombs has played a crucial role in helping Learn, Develop growth, and we look forward to strengthening our partnership, receiving more bicycle shipments, and collaborating on fundraising. Together, we will continue uplifting young women and youth for generations.
We thank you, Bikes Not Bombs, for your support. Happy 40th anniversary to you!
So as we close, gonna give folks a sec to start pouring. So thank you all so much for your generosity. Your contributions are not just an investment in our organization, it's an investment in sustainable environmental practices. It's an investment in mobilizing people and communities all around the globe. It's an investment in the young adults of our city who will finally have the opportunity to launch their careers while serving and uplifting their own communities. As we close, we're gonna do a toast. For anyone who would like to participate, feel free to pour yourself a glass, or if you want to use water, feel free to do that. We're inclusive. Let's give it like 15 more seconds. All right, let's raise our glasses. Let's cheers to Damari. and let's cheers to 40 years of impact at Bikes Not Bombs. Cheers, everyone. As I close, we sincerely hope that you'll stay in touch with us, that we'll see you at the National Youth Bike Summit on May 30th. We have also set the date for our Bike-a-thon next year. It is June 8th, not September, June 8th. We're going back to the spring. We're listening to riders. We heard that from our riders. And we're so grateful for all that you all have been able to allow us to do with your support. I'd like to include volunteer nights if you're around for that. They're every Wednesday, as well as you all know, we have a bike shop. Definitely come by and support us when we're open. All right. Thank you all. Here's to the next chapter in our journey together. Thank you.
That in the far left corner of the room are many boxes of delicious cupcakes. So help yourself to dessert. The bar is open till 9. And thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.